Alrighty, so, I'm sure you know what this is. You see a lot of earphones with you. You read the title, you know why you're here. Well, yeah, this is pretty much the second to last truly wireless headphone video I'm gonna make for a really long time. So there's a very important reason I made this, and this video right here happens to be the biggest reason I chose to buy all of these and compare them and review them and listen to them, actually spend my money and try these out. Well, all of these are competing to be the number one for the truly wireless earphones for workouts currently in mid-2020. Let's go ahead and start by introducing the contestants on the roster. You have the Bose Soundsport Free, and well, these are pretty self-explanatory. They're on the list because, well, they're Bose, and they're meant for workouts. Powerbeats Pro, exactly the same reason. They're meant for workouts. They are Apple's offering that are targeted primarily towards people that work out. Athletes, runners, not swimmers. Don't take these out on a swim. The Sony WFSP800N, Sony's offering for those of us who are active, or at least actively challenged. So these three were added to the list because they are primarily marketed as workout buds and are designed for such an activity right out of the box. Airpods Pro. Now, although these aren't exactly marketed as a workout bud, these can definitely be used for such an activity due to their water-resistant capabilities, as well as other features, which we'll get more into that later. Airpods Gen 2. The reason these are on the list, well, it's quite simple. Look, these things aren't waterproof, which means that they're not exactly the best equipped for workouts, and they're not marketed as workout buds either. But, you've seen them, I've seen them. Plenty of people use these for workouts at the gym or outside or doing whatever. So look, I could go ahead and tell you, hey man, these are not waterproof. You might not want to use these for workouts. I could say that all day long, but people are still going to use them for workouts. So may as well just join in and be like, all right, well, if they're going to be used for workouts, this is what I think. Last on the list is the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus, or R, should I say. Now, despite the fact that these are not marketed as a workout bud nor possess any sort of moderate to strong water-resistant capabilities, plenty of people will still be curious about picking them for the sake of working out. Anyways, let's jump into the contents here. The winners for the contents bracket would be, or are, the Galaxy Buds Plus and the Sony SP800N. And the reason for this is because these possess the largest amount of earbuds and fins to be able to customize them to fit your ears best. Now, although the Bose also offer ear tips and wings, they are attached as an entire unit, forcing some users, like myself, to adjust to the fit of the earbuds in order to get the wings to fit your ears properly. So, as you can see right here, it's a single unit. This ear hook fits me properly, or maybe a little too large, but these definitely fit me way too large. I need a smaller pair of ear tips, but since it's all one unit, well, you have to get used to it. Luckily, you can. As far as the build quality is concerned, the winners here are the Powerbeats Pro and the Airpods Pro. So look, here we have two of the best designs available. For those who really want that hook, the Powerbeats offer a virtually universal fit that will satisfy the majority of people. For those who seek a more traditional fit, the Airpods Pro offer the best solution by offering a lightweight, compact design that fits most people's ears. Notice how I didn't mention the Sony SP800N on this list. Well, there's a big reason for that. And the reason is, I find their design flawed due to the fact that when you have these on, you can hear every footstep you take above all else, unless you have your music playing at deafening levels, which I tried these during a workout and you just hear every step like a thump all the way through. And the music becomes part of the background it's almost as if you're listening for the thumps and the music is getting in the way. It's that bad. The only way, I had to really crank up my tunes, and at that point it was just like, oh man, these hurt. So definitely a terrible experience with these. Now, as far as comfort is concerned, the winners here are the Airpods Gen 2 and the Bose Free. And there are two different reasons for these. Look, keep in mind that for this comparison, I am also including the security of not feeling like they will fall out as a comfort factor. So I mentioned this before. With Airpods Gen 2, they will either fit your ears extremely well and not fall off, or they will just fall off almost instantly, since they will not sit on the ear properly. If you are one of the latter, you can purchase aftermarket ear hooks that will convert these into the best fitting in-ear solution on the market, hands down. Now, the Bose earbuds don't offer a perfect fit. They might offer a perfect fit for you, but they are as close as I came to finding one. So due to my particular ears, I am forced to use the largest ear hook offered. And although the hook is perfect for my ears, like I said, the ear tip is simply too large to fit comfortably in my ear. But it's very easy to adjust to the feeling after a few minutes, honestly. Now, on the tech side of things, the winner here actually depends on your needs. So let's go ahead and go over a few factors here. As far as range is concerned, AirPods Gen 2, Galaxy Buds Plus, and the Powerbeats Pro will yield you approximately 35 to 45 steps before cutting off. So these may be better suited for activities where leaving your phone behind is absolutely necessary. Like if you're going to be playing around on a basketball court and you don't want your big ass Note 10 in the pocket, you can leave it on the side, on the bleachers, and you can go ahead and ball up and stuff people. I know a couple of friends who like stuffing people and get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as active noise canceling is concerned, the Sony SP800N do offer an active noise cancellation mode, but like I mentioned before, I find it honestly just useless because whenever I tried running with these, the sound of the footsteps ended up being far louder than the music. So these just throws them out. Just entirely throws them out. Now, the AirPods Pro do feature an active noise cancellation mode and do not amplify footsteps in such a manner, which is good. I also found its transparency mode to be the most natural sounding of the bunch, despite the fact that it does possess passive noise isolation. As far as playback controls are concerned, most of these offer pretty much the same functionality, with a few exclusive exceptions. For example, the AirPods Gen 2 are pretty much the only of the bunch with severely limited playback controls. These pretty much just feature a skip track, and that's about it on Android. On iOS, it does feature a few other things. Like it might feature a play pause. It does feature a skip track. It might feature a rewind or previous track, but that's about it. It doesn't have any additional things to them. And now we jump into the sound quality. So, the type of sound I am rating to be the most correct is one with a slightly warmer than neutral bass response and a slightly darker treble response. The bass preference is due to the fact that during workouts, the sound tends to lose some bass presence due to environmental factors. So by increasing that bass a bit, it ends up equalizing more or less, even in the simplest of workouts. And the treble preference is due to the fact that during workouts, one tends to want to push the volume by one or more notches in order to pump themselves up more, which is more feasible when the treble response is not at the maximum one usually listens at, which would be somewhat neutral if you follow my recommendations. Also keep in mind the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus were tested using the soft signature, since to my ears this sounds the most correct and controlled. Also, the Sony SP800N were tested using the in-app EQ of 400 Hz at -4 decibels, 16 kHz at -1 decibel, and clear bass at -4 notches. So due to the spotty connectivity issues, they are also running on the priority unstable connection mode. More on that in the individual review of these. But long story short, in order to have a stable connection when you're out running or doing any type of workout, you need to have it priority unstable connection mode. So let's begin. The bass. The winner in this category, they go as follows. First place, Bose. Second place, Buds Plus. Third place, Gen 2. Fourth place, AirPods Pro. 5, Powerbeats Pro. 6, SP800N. Now, out of all of these, the Bose has some decent bass texture and detail, yet also possesses a warm-ish tone without being overbearing. So for workouts, it provides the best balance between the slight warmish tone and, still maintaining a good amount of detail. Now, despite the fact that I said that the AirPods Pro have way better bass than the Gen 2 do, and I still feel that way, I feel that the Gen 2 have a bass response that is better suited for workouts. Yes, they are still way too bloated, but you can apply a bit of EQ and it will come down after environmental factors come into play as well. Although the SP800N do have a decent amount of warmth to the bass, its quality it's far too deplorable. Like, even for workouts, it really is. Like, no. Now for the mids. For first place, we have the Gen 2 and the Bose Free tied for first place. We have the Airpods Pro tied for second place. Go for second place. Galaxy Buds Plus, go for third place. The Powerbeats Pro go for fourth place. And SP800N at fifth place. Although the Airpods Gen 2 and Bose Free have comparable mids, the overall mids quality goes to the Airpods Gen 2. However, the reason I tied them is because the Gen 2 are a tad more forward than I would like to hear from a workout headphone. So here it is entirely up to you whether you prefer the additional sound quality or prefer the sound comfort, which means slightly less forward mids to help your ears breathe, so to speak. I also tied the Powerbeats Pro and the SP800N initially due to the fact that although the Powerbeats Pro have better mids, the SP800N possess a more comfortable midsection. However, I broke the tie because I ultimately felt that the disparity between the sound comfort was not as great as the disparity between the sound quality between the two. As far as treble is concerned, the winners are as follows. First place, Bose Free. Second, Gen 2. Third, AirPods Pro. 4, Galaxy Buds Plus. Tied for fifth place, Powerbeats Pro and SP800N. Now remember, this particular comparison is not just about the sound quality, but about the particular sound signature that I prefer seeing in a workout headphone. In this case, a slightly recessed treble response, which will allow you to turn it up a bit more. Although the Bose Free and AirPods Gen 2 both possess a more laid-back treble response, the Bose possess a smoother frequency response and offer a more spacious sound which give the highs extra room to breathe. Although the AirPods Pro do have a higher quality treble response than the AirPods Gen 2, its more forward nature simply doesn't quite fit in with the characteristics of a workout earphone. Although both the Sony SP800N and the Powerbeats Pro Although both the Sony SP800N and Powerbeats Pro do possess terrible treble responses, each are at the bottom of the list for different reasons. The SP800N have a lot of that nasty Bluetooth sound to them, which is like a thin and garbled kind of treble sound. And the Powerbeats Pro have a really, really tinny and nasal sounding treble response. Still have that Bluetooth sound, but it's more about the timbre. Really terrible timbre. So TLDR, they're both pretty awful. Now with soundstage and imaging, the AirPods Pro take the first place medal by far. I mean by far. These things, I'm not saying they're like imaging kings or anything, but yeah, they destroy the rest of these by far. Just by far. Second is Bose Free. Third, Powerbeats Pro. 4, Galaxy Buds Plus. 5th, SP800N. And 6th, AirPods Gen 2. Now, as far as the soundstage and imaging goes, like I said, AirPods Pro just knocked it out of the water. Although the Bose Free and the Powerbeats Pro were very close to each other, the Powerbeats Pro had slightly less precision in imaging, so I gave that to the Bose Free. The Galaxy Buds Plus came really close to the Bose and Powerbeats. I'm just gonna say, they're really close behind. The SP800N were actually very close as well, although not as close. Lastly, the AirPods Gen 2, although not absolute garbage, were still the least successful at reproducing that accuracy. So now we reach the conclusion. Let me go ahead and explain my grading system here, how I chose the winner. As far as non-sound categories go, I gave the winners a point each. With sound categories, I gave each headphone a point for scoring on the top 3 spots. Earphones with water resistance each got a point. So, as far as total points go, the Gen 2 got a total of 4, the AirPods Pro got a total of 5, Bose got a total of 6, Powerbeats Pro total of 3, Galaxy Buds Plus a total of 3, and the SP800N got a total of 2. So the overall winner here is the Bose Soundsport Free. Although there are plenty of factors to consider here, the overall winner for the majority of people is the Bose Soundsport Free. They are water resistant and offer the best frequency response for workouts, although they are not the most technologically advanced nor offer the best specs. So I am going to throw that out there. Yeah, look, You can read tech specs off of a sheet all day and brag about, oh, these headphones have this, this, and that, and these headphones have blah, 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 like 10 meters of deep sea diving or whatever. But at the end of the day, if they're really not practical, if they don't sound well, what's the point of it all? Really, I mean, yes, these are running off of Bluetooth 4.2. Yes, they came out in 2016. Yes, these are using a micro USB port instead of a Type-C. But as far as practicality goes, the Bose really take the cake. They do. As far as the tech side of things is concerned, it's really up to you whether it is worth sacrificing like the utmost modern specs sheet in exchange for best practical use. So, alternatives. If you do prefer a much longer battery life, the Galaxy Buds Plus will offer you 11 hours on a single charge and up to 22 hours in the charging case. Well, with the charging case's charge combined. Do remember that these only offer passive isolation, and although they are water resistant, they are the least water resistant of the bunch. Now, if you really require that farther connectivity range, the Airpods Gen 2 and the Galaxy Buds Plus will both give you an excellent range without too many cutoffs. Do remember that the Airpods Gen 2 are not water resistant, so use them at your own discretion. Now, I recommend foregoing the wireless charging case for an AppleCare Plus membership if you really are concerned with obtaining the best bang for your buck. The reason I'm saying is because AppleCare Plus will cover water damage from your sweaty sweat. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Like the dude that raises his arms and people are like, hey, Splash Town. So yeah, getting it would minimize the risk and cost associated with replacing buds that may short out. I mean, you know these aren't water resistant. You know they're going to get damaged with water at some point. Get them that AppleCare Plus protection. It's like $30 more, which is, yeah, more or less the cost of the wireless charging case. But you know what? You don't have to replace the whole damn thing if they end up shorting out because you're too damn sweaty to use them for a long time. Also keep in mind that while the Airpods Gen 2 offer essentially no passive isolation, the Galaxy Buds Plus offer an average amount, although you can turn on the transparency mode to mitigate that effect. Last of all, if you really, really want the best sound quality, as long as they are manageable for workouts, the Airpods Pro will offer the best overall sound quality for the price. They really will. Although these are not my favorite for workouts, primarily because I find their sound signature to be too lean and sharp for workouts only, they are an excellent choice. Also, I do require some micro adjustments with these on throughout my workouts, where I do not require doing so with more workout-oriented buds like the Bose, the Galaxy Buds, Powerbeats, etc. Just wanted to point that out, and yeah. That's pretty much going to do it. So Bose pretty much took the cake here, but there are some excellent alternatives to them if you really require some other aspects and details for your workout bud. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions regarding the comparison with these, anything in particular you might want to know. Leave it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a look. Also leave suggestions for the tiers. What would you like to see from the Patreon? And man, that's gonna wrap it up. I really hope this thing helps you out because I spent a hell of a lot of time with all of these, and I'm talking about the other two as well, the two that are not on screen. These last few weeks have been long, but I'm just about done with these, finally.